Welcome back, everyone. Well, probably many of you wouldn't know this, but met Mark probably 10 years ago now. It's a long time. And when Mark and I get together to talk before we actually do the interview, a whole day could go by. Yeah. We both seem to just have that intellectual curiosity about things that affect the community, politics in general. I don't care if it's global or local. You and I just seem to just start talking.
Really enjoy it too, Jesse.
I know, I really do enjoy it. So
thank you.
That said, I always ask Mark to come in on occasion when I spot things that are going on locally in Warren County, and I'd just like to have a perspective on it. I think it's important for you to hear a perspective on it. And as always, by the way, the things that we talk about, if you agree or disagree, you let us know, and we'd give you equal time. This isn't a partisan thing at all. It's just really about the issues that affect the community. You got a very powerful newsletter you're sending out. When I see it coming through, I say, I better get a cup of coffee, I better sit down and start digging into it. Some of the issues that you've been addressing lately, we've got the court case that I'd like to try to get an update on. Give us a background first to catch viewers to catch up, and then give us an update on it, okay?
All right, thanks, Jesse, and enjoy these opportunities to talk. In 2015, a group of us got together and we started to study the form of government in Warren County. And the long and the short of it is we had a lot of questions about the constitutionality, the one person, one vote principle in the 14th Amendment. So we brought this to the attention of the county. And in 2016, we met with a committee, we presented our case, and the county passed a resolution in committee to go to the full board to decide whether or not to take the issue on and study it further. And that was in April of 2016, and the board elected not to look at it further. We felt there were credible issues that were not addressed, important issues, and so we elected to take the issue to court.
Right, got it. Now, the judge has decided to postpone it?
Well, right now there's a give and take going back and forth. There's a process of getting facts straight. Due diligence, right. And the most recent correspondence from the county was to look at pushing the court case back to 2018, which we think is far too long. We'd like to see action taken sooner than that.
Right. Any indication why they're doing that, Mark?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. No. You wouldn't necessarily know this. It's really at the jurisdiction of the court and at their will. After they go through due diligence and whatever they think they need to do.
Right. There's some procedural questions, and one of the plaintiffs on our side, there was a question on whether or not that person had standing in Warren County. So those things are being worked out, and we're addressing those. We don't think there's anything. There's not much to that.
Mm-hmm. And again, the hope on your side is that there'll be more equal representation in a county, one person, one vote, let's say.
That's right. We have proposed actually an equally divided districts, 9 districts of equally divided populations so that each representative would represent the same number of people and have one vote, both in board meetings and committee meetings, which is not the case now.
No, across the county, it's actually quite different. If you look at how Glens Falls is represented, you move right to Queensbury, but then even if you go up into some of the more rural counties, right?
That's right. I mean, Queensbury has 5 representatives. Their vote on board meetings, when the whole board gets together, is split among the 5 of them, even though they run town-wide. Right. So in essence, they only get like 20% of the vote versus the number of people that voted them in. Glens Falls is a whole different system. They have ward supervisors who represent different sized wards. So you have a Queensbury supervisor that, like Rachel Sieber, who gets elected with 4,000 votes, and a Glens Falls supervisor like Jim Brock, who gets elected with a little more than 100 votes, and they have the same voting power in committee. We think that's not fair.
Yeah, probably not. Well, it'd be very interesting to see, and I want you to keep us posted on it, okay?
Will do. Thank you.
Also, the airport. Ongoing issues with the airport. The Board of Supervisors decided to proceed with the study, correct?
Yes.
My research showed that we're at the environmental stage now for the environmental study. What's involved with that, and where do we stand with that?
It's a secret process, which is part of the DEC regulations. So DEC has to review it. EPA will eventually get involved. The FAA has to approve it. And what we've contended all along and have felt has never been addressed by the county is that the FAA's own regulations state that this project can only be done for existing aircraft at the airport. And our analysis shows that this is a short-haul airport. The data supports that the current runway is more than adequate and that the county doesn't have a case for proceeding with the spending of this $8 million plus.
What Mark is referring to there is under those guidelines, I think the runway has to be like 4,700 feet long or something, and the current runway is 5,000 feet long or
That's
a little
right.
over, something like that, right?
Yeah, and as emphasis to this, Saratoga has a 4,600 foot runway roughly.
Right.
And we track the jet traffic in Saratoga versus our airport up in Warren County over the busy track season. Saratoga had 3.5 times the traffic that we had. So you have these multi-million-dollar jets flying into Saratoga. If there was a safety issue, there's a longer runway, 30 minutes away. So,
that's correct.
Well,
great, Mark. You know what? We didn't have time to get into the Siemens, the cogen plant, and the geothermal plant. So I want you to come back again because we could eat the whole interview up just talking about all the issues surrounding that whole thing. Yeah. Quagmire is the word I was going to use, and then I was thinking maybe I shouldn't use it, but quagmire.
Well, the whole Siemens thing is being sorted out. They were sold in as budget neutral, meaning they wouldn't cost taxpayers any money. And there have been engineering audits done that has shown that that has been called into question, and the county is now sorting through that on one of those projects.
And also with the also energy related, the geothermal one, that's also was sold in as budget neutral, and that's turning out that that's not budget neutral either. So look, we'll get into that subject. But Mark, great to see you.
Always, Jesse.
Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. And
same to you.
Anytime you want to kill a day or two, come on in. We'll just start talking.
That sounds good.
Good to see you.
All right, thanks for everything.
To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.